Welcome to Art and Imagination with Janna. So glad to see you. Remember that anything that you can imagine, you can draw and paint. Hi, and welcome back to the Bella Vista Community TV studio this morning. We would like to entertain the buckets of apples today again. We're going to kind of smooth them out today and kind of maybe finish them up today too, but we've got a lot of stuff to do. So let's roll up our sleeves and let's get started with Janna this morning, Art and Imagination. Let's get busy. So what I'm doing, you know, there's all kinds of sizes of these stumps. So let's get busy and kind of smooth these apples out where the dark part is. And we're just going to kind of meld them. And remember I said to go the way that the apple grows? So I'm going to pull this down and push this up as I go. And it defines the apple. And this is the little dark part. We have to put more dark in here where the stem is growing up. Let's get him up there. And we're going to put some leaves on these apples too. Well, I just see how that smooths out? It just took everything away. So we'll have to put that back in there, but we might put it up higher. And this is the back side of that apple here that's behind it. So let's smooth him out for now. And we're going to go according to this hump. We're going to go that way as we smooth it down with our stump. So let's just kind of go lightly along that ridge there that the apple has. And notice that I'm bringing it down this way. It doesn't look like it's moving, but it really is. And then when I get down here, I want to bring that graphite up over this apple here, as you can see. And as you can see, I've got green fingernail polish on today in honor of Halloween. So I want to wish you all a very happy Halloween. And you can even draw your pumpkins. Okay, so he's smoothed out. So these two are smoothed out. So as we go along here, let's just keep smoothing. And this back side is coming down. That's the back side of this apple. So we'll bring it down. This is a big, big stump. I like working with the big stump. So here again, this apple's going to come this way because it's divided by this here where the stem is. So let's bring it down, smooth it out. Now we are going to have some hot spots, what we call hot spots on our apples. So I'm going to leave some spaces like this in the centers as I bring it along. And we're going to make these apples round. So this is the dark side, so this apple's coming this way. So I'm going to pull it this way. And I'm going to finish putting that graphite in spots where I didn't have it last time. But there's no light down here in this particular area. So it is all right here because the light's coming from up there. So all through here and through here and through here, that light's going to be coming down. So I go back and forth. I try to work the whole canvas as I'm going along, or the whole paper. I'm working a commission painting right now that has a lot of shadows in it, and you really have to pay attention to those shadows. And as I see, I want to bring that apple down. And I'm kind of standing on one leg here. We have a beautiful camera crew today. We have some very pretty ladies on the other side of this camera. And they're really good at what they do. So we have an all-girl crew today, except who's in the voice box back there. Then it's all guys on the backside. So as you can see, we're smoothing these apples out. I'm trying to hurry because I hate to take up this whole time with just smoothing these apples out. Because there's still a lot of stuff that we got to do. Now remember, we got to remember where the light's at. I got to bring my other foot down here and get farther away so I can see it a lot better. Now normally if I have something on the easel like this, and I know you're sitting down at probably your table with your chair and everything, but get up every once in a while and hold it up so that you can see it from a distance. It looks totally different from a distance whenever you're doing a piece of work. So the graphite on this stump helps an awful lot. And I got an apple back here and it's pretty scratchy, but it's going to be kind of dark back there. So let's smooth him out. Get him going with a whole batch of apples here. Hope you all like apple pie. Now this is going to be totally dark in here. I got to get my charcoal out in a few minutes. And we're going to fix that. And this part down here is going to be dark. Now as you can see, by smoothing these out, get some of the crud off of it. Because with this paper, it does leach off the paper. And so as you're smoothing, now you can do this with a Q-tip if you like. If you don't have a stump, use a Q-tip. I've done that before too in a pinch. Or there's the good old fingers. You can use fingers too. So you can just kind of smudge it along. And it's okay to smudge. As you can see with my finger, I can really do a lot. So let's go up here to the inside of the can, or the bucket, I should say. It looks to me like a tin can with a handle, so we'll just call it a bucket. But we're gonna fix that before we're done. It'll look like a bucket. Because it goes outside, we're going to get that rim in here. I really want to thank our director and the sound guys and everything. They're really great here at the studio. And I look forward to this every week, to come into your homes, or whenever I get there. It could be on YouTube or whatever. But we enjoy coming into your homes weekly. Okay, looks like a bunch of onions at the moment, doesn't it? Now let's go up here to the top, because this is the lightest part of the can up there, or the bucket. I keep calling it a can. How about a can of apples? How about that? Remember, I said it's art and imagination, so you got to use your imagination here. Is it a bucket or is it a can? You, as the artist, can call it whatever you want. Art is so much fun. Except if you're working on an easel like this, your arm does get tired of fusing this all together. Now remember, we're going to have grasses in through here, is what I said last time we were together. So we'll just kind of go up like that. We're setting it up. Now I'm going to go and get my, my charcoal, and we're going to do this all over again. Of the darkest part of the apple. So here we go. We're going to start, because we've already got that layer in there. So let's try to be smooth about it, or I should be smoother about it this time, because I've kind of got just chicken scratches on there for right now. So let's go back here into this back apple. I hope you are having fun with this. Because see, that's going to be dark in through there, in through, from here to here. So there's an apple that sits back up in there. So let's get him a little darker. And he might have a little light spot there. So I'm going to smudge him with my finger for now. Let's go here with this apple in the back. And he's going to be dark. Remember that the line can come this way. So from that point to that point inside this bucket, these apples are going to be darkened. Now if this was in color, whatever kind of apple you're doing, green or red or maybe even yellow, your darkest part would be on this dark side here. So with this apple here, we have an apple right there. And then we have a dark spot in here. So this apple here is going to be darker here. And this is going to give you more of a 3D effect also as we go along here, so that you can pick out these apples from the picture. You want to be able to pick them. If you're going to draw them, you want to pick them. So I'm going to be very careful in here, because this is going to be kind of like a half moon, because remember the light's coming this way. So it's going to hit in there. I'm going to smooth this out. Down here it's going to be really dark. And I said I would bring this up to in here. And this is where your apple core is going to start. Let's make it a heart. Why not? So this is going to be dark in here. You know, you can put many shades. Now it's looking like a pomegranate, isn't it? So this is kind of going to be darkened through here because we want to make it rounded. Because this will be light because the light's coming from up there. Let's smooth this out. Over here it's going to be dark. And this is going to be our main focus apple is right here. The rest of them, if you make one or two of them like that in the front as your focus area on your picture or your painting of whatever you're doing, your eye is going to flow back into that bucket. So as they go farther back in, they get lighter, but they get darker. Does that make sense? It will. You just keep on working. But this is my focus apple right here. Okay, I kind of covered up my light area there, but my dark area is going to be in there. So now we're kind of honing the picture, or doing some detail on it, whichever way you want to look at it. I call it honing in because I haven't finished all the detail yet. But I love to do detail work. Now this apple looks like it's flat, but an apple really on the bottom is not flat. It's always got that little guy right there, that little hump. So this is really going to be darkened here. Let's really bring him out with the darkness. This is really going to be dark in here. And he's going to have a little guy there too. So let's really make that dark. Let's get his stem up here too. Like I said, these apples are going to have some leaves on them. Which is going to cover up some of this. And it only adds to the picture. So this is going to be the dark side of that leaf. See, I might surprise you in what I'm doing here. You can never tell what Janna's going to do on her drawing. That's why you got to stay tuned to our station. We have very many interesting programs for you to watch. Now this is going to have a shadow because the light's coming from up there, so this leaf is going to have a shadow here. So underneath, we're going to have another little dark spot because that's a shadow. Now see, I can envision this apple in color. Let's get that stump back there, or a stump. And let's smooth him out. And let's smooth this side of the leaf. And this side. We don't want wholly leaves here. So let's take out the white spots in these leaves. But let's give this one a little bit lighter color. this leaf needs to come out a little bit. Okay. Now the greatest way to make your light spots is this eraser that I told you to get. And you can make it in any shape. So let's take off some of this stuff that we don't want in there. Now, every once in a while, as you can see, this eraser picks up the graphite, so you have to mold it. And this is why I like this eraser, because you can make it any way you want it. And I keep folding it in the graphite in there. And you're kind of drawing with your eraser to some extent. Now this apple up here is going to have light spot here too. So let's clean up these acts here, as I call it. Everything on this side of the line is going to be light. So let's see if that looks a lot better to you. Okay. Let's fix that leaf a little bit. See, you can even draw with an eraser. After you get the graphite on your paper, of course. And this is just fine-tuning it, that's all there is. And I kind of don't like the way that stem is in there, so let's see if I can take it out. I want it to come up higher, kind of like that. And we're going to put the leaf on here. And just kind of tune that in there. Let's take some of this out so our leaf will show up. Okay. Now this is kind of melted into each other, so let's kind of straighten this up. Take some of this off. I'm kind of going to redo that so that we have more of a definite line there. I know your apples are going to be really nice when you're done. It's the dark side of the leaf. And this is the light side. See, this is the beginning way of starting to draw, is taking it in stages. And now we're going to be working up this way. And this in here is going to be really dark because of the shadow of the apple. This shadow is going to be coming this way, so this is going to be really dark in here. And as you see, we brought those two apples out, kind of outstanding from the others. And like I said, I wish this was in color because you could see the difference. Around that core is going to have a little light spot too. And I'm going to need to get another piece of charcoal that is darker than what I've got in my hand. And this little guy over here, he's so quiet. He's also going to have a stem. Because these are your three main apples. So we're going to work on that. So he's just kind of halfway in between the line here. So I am going to lighten him up. And I'm going to have this dark in here. Like I said, I need to get another charcoal pencil to get this done. It's really dark. So half of him, like I said, is going to be light. I'm going to get my eraser thin enough that I'm just going to make a line here. And let's take some of this out. Give him a hot spot here. It takes a while to draw, you know, it's just not a 1, 2, 3 method at all. And when we're going to start painting with acrylics first, I hope you will join us on those programs of beginning painting. So now with these ruffled little leaves, I think the apple leaves are a little smoother than that, so let's take them like that. They do have the little ridges, but let's not put those little ridges in. Let's make them more of a smooth look. That kind of looks like a dinosaur back, and we don't want it to look like that. See, I have an imagination that just won't quit, seeing a dinosaur back in leaves. So now I have to go in there and fix that. Kind of straighten it up, but we want to see the leaf sticking out there. But anyway, I want you to keep on practicing your apples and getting them right. And when we come back again, or when we meet again, we'll work on these back apples here, and I'm hoping that you all have a wonderful Halloween and your children have a lot of fun. But be safe. Keep an eye on those children in each house that they go to. But I want to thank our studio crew here for everything. And come back to Bella Vista Community TV when you can, and let's finish up our bucket of apples. So until then, I want to say goodbye. Thanks for being with me today. I hope you've learned something from the lessons that I've been giving you. Just remember, if you can imagine it, you can draw it or paint it. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.